Hello, Nate. Good morning. Thank you. Hello, Sophia. I'm hanging in there. Hello, little lemon. I'm okay, Julia. I'm doing as well as I can. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, David. Good morning. How is everyone doing? I'm drinking iced coffee, Nate. That's what I drink every stream. I'm all right, David. Hello, day one. Am I tired? I'm tired every morning. Welcome to my live stream. This is English Q&A session. So on this live stream, you are allowed to ask whatever questions you have. I will try to help you. If you have English questions, then you can ask them. If you have questions about American culture, you can ask them. If you have other questions about life, I'll do my best to answer them. Not that I have all the answers. Hello, Islam. Khaled, watch yourself, my friend. Watch yourself. If you want to be here, be respectful. If not, get out right now. Okay, Khaled, then shall I remove you? Do you want to apologize now or should I remove you? I'll give him a chance to apologize. If he wants to be a real man, then he can apologize for being ignorant. Okay, bye, Khaled. Bye. Well, that was not a fun way to start the day. Yeah, I know that banning is sometimes the best lesson, but I always like to give people a chance to actually apologize. Apologizing for idiotic behavior is usually the best thing that you can do. And some people are man enough to do that. Some people are not. Kasim, yeah, if you want to wait for just another minute, then I'll bring you up in a few minutes, okay? Yeah, Nate, I do bring people up. I just usually wait for a few minutes until everybody's here. So that way, if I give advice to somebody, I want as many people to hear it as possible because otherwise I'll have to say the same things many, many times because people will ask the same questions. So I just want to wait just a few more minutes for more people to show up, and then I'll bring some people up. Thank you, Nate. Hello, Zoe. I won't forget you, Kasim. Good morning, Tanya. Hello, Alex in YouTube. Can I pronounce the word conquer? To conquer. Yeah, Nate, I'll bring you up too. All right. Yeah, I suppose 35 people, that's enough for now. Kasim, as soon as Nate was actually first. I saw him raise his hand a few minutes ago, so I'll get him up first, and then I'll get you up, Kasim, right after Nate. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Nate. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Not much. Just starting my day. How was your
Hey,
day?
what time is it over there?
It is 9:12 right now, so we're about 13 hours
9:12.
difference if you're in Beijing time.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
in another few days, on March 10th, then we'll actually change the time here because we have daylight savings time, and then it will go back to being 12 hours different between here and Beijing.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real?
We
That's
change the time twice a year. It's really stupid.
twice a year?
Yeah,
That's the
in the fall
uh,
we push 1 hour forward, or no, in the fall we push 1 hour back. In the spring we push 1 hour forward. Yeah,
that's the first time I heard about that.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
So most of the year it's like 12 hours difference or 13 hours difference depending on which time of the year it is. But right now it's 13 hours, and in another few days on March 10th it'll switch to 12 hours difference, which is a lot easier to remember because it's exactly the same time there, just nighttime or daytime, opposite, the other side of the planet.
that 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 does it affect your work time? Nope.
Yeah. Well, for me, it does. Yeah. Which is why it'll be better for everybody in China starting in March 10th because my streams will be an hour earlier for you.
Yeah.
So right
Get
now,
it. Get
everybody
it.
complains a little bit because it's a little bit late start time, but it'll go back to being exactly 12 hours difference, but I'll keep my same time, so it'll actually start an hour earlier for you.
Mm. Uh, uh, yeah, nice to meet you, Mark. It's my first time to come here. No,
Nice
we
to
come
meet
on
you
the
too.
stage, but I saw you lots of times.
Oh, okay, great. Good to know. Where are you living in China? Are you in Beijing or where?
Nanjing,
Nanjing. Okay.
yeah.
All
Beijing,
right.
South Jing,
Yeah.
North Jing, South
Yeah.
Jing.
Wichita. Yeah. All right. Cool. And did you have any questions for me today, or did you just want to chat?
Not really. Just I just want to come up and practice my English. Find someone, just talk.
All right. Cool.
Cool.
Right
Yeah,
on. So what do you do, Nate?
I work.
Okay. What kind of work?
Uh, I work in a construction company.
Oh, okay. That's cool. What do you do there?
Yeah.
Do you actually do the heavy construction, or do you do like the engineering, or what are you, a project manager?
On the country, I do marketing.
You do marketing. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right. All right.
Because we need to like win the project. Then the worker got the worker to do.
All right. Yeah, sure. Of course. Yeah. Marketing is important. Right on. Well, what do you do for fun?
uh, when the summer like yeah, when the winter ends, I I I will go to play basketball because
All
I
right.
I yeah because I don't like cold, so I don't do much workout in the winter.
Ah, all right. I understand. I'm not a big fan of the winter either.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long is the winter usually there?
From from November to March. Now it's March. Uh, 5 months for
Wow.
real?
Okay. That's pretty long.
Yeah, five
That's
months.
pretty long. Yeah, the winter here is not that long. It starts in November too, but it's not that cold for November. It doesn't really get to be, I don't feel like it's really winter until December. And then even then, I don't call it that bad until it snows. When it's snowing, then it's winter. And we don't usually get much snow until January and February. But actually this year we barely had any snow at all this year. This was the first year in my life where we had only 2 times did it snow at all, and it was only a few inches, and it only lasted for a few days, and then it was gone.
Apparently, climate change.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely climate change. Yeah, because this is the warmest winter we've ever had, I think. I mean, but it's also been really crazy temperatures. The temperatures have been high and then low and then high and then low. Today it's going to be a high temperature, I think, of 22 or something like that. But then just a few days ago, it was like -2. So it's crazy
Same
how,
he-
the
yeah,
temperature changes they're just really dramatic. Yeah.
yeah, same here. The extreme weather.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse, I think. It's going to get worse in the next 10 years. I think things will continue to get more dramatic. The weather changes, I think, will be really weird. We have lots of fires, like there's a big fire happening in Texas, but then
Yeah,
In California
I watched the news yesterday.
they have a huge snowstorm now too. So, yeah, it's every kind of weather is more dramatic, not so mild. So, whatever it is, if it's cold, it's going to be more cold. If it's hot, it's going to be more hot. So, yeah.
Speak of where what's that state?
Texas.
Texas. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
that wildfire is pretty scary.
Let me get Kasim up here too. I usually don't get two people on the stage at the same time, only because the time limit makes it hard for me to talk to people. But I'm going to try to go ahead and get Kasim because I don't want him to run out of time here too. Hello, Kasim.
Okay.
Hello, my friend.
Hi there.
How are
How are
you?
you guys?
Oh, you got time limit?
I'm fine.
Kasim, do you have a time limit?
Let me
No?
check
No?
Time limit?
if he is VIP.
Yeah,
He's not VIP.
Yeah, usually if you're not a VIP, then you have a time limit, and I don't want you to lose your time here because
Because
it'll remove you if you don't get a chance to talk to me in time. So I wanted to get you on stage right away. How are you, Kasim? Are you in Yemen? Kasim, hello? Can you hear me? Unfortunately.
yeah, I'm in Yemen,
oh,
but
there we go.
wait. I want to understand more about. Yeah, can you hear my voice?
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
voice?
I can hear you. The connection's just not really good, but I can hear you. Go ahead and tell me.
So I want to understand what is time limit because it's my first time to me to hear that.
Yeah.
Can you
so,
explain that for me?
apparently, in Hello Talk, if you don't have the VIP subscription, then I think you're only allowed to do, 20 minutes, is it? I think? Something like that.
I don't know, like forever.
No. Only per day. 20 minutes per day. So, yeah, you can
I
be here for
understand,
20
because
minutes and that's it.
It's my first. Yeah, I understand. So how are you guys?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. So can you introduce yourself, Mark? I want to know more about you.
Well, my name is Teacher Mark, and I'm from the United States. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm an English teacher, but I'm also a drummer. As you can see, the drums behind me. And,
Yeah, I can see.
I've been on Hello Talk for about 10 years. I've been on so windy, Kasim. Sounds like it's windy in Yemen.
Yeah, it's windy.
I can tell.
The problem is I don't have, a good internet in my house, so I have to get out of my house to use this app.
I understand.
So, yeah, that's
I understand, my friend.
condition-
What city are you in, Kasim?
I am in Hadramaut. If you know Hadramaut, do you know Hadramaut?
I don't know. I'll see if I can find that later.
So, do you know what is that thing, by the way?
You
I
mean
don't think
your clothes?
My clothes.
I'm familiar with it. That it's traditional dress for some Arabic people, but I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of it?
It's you want the name in Arabic language?
Yeah, sure.
Punjabi. For
I
real?
don't know, but we call it thob. You know thob.
Thob.
Saudi Arabia people, and I think people from Gulf, they wear this.
Okay, thob. All
And
right.
this is thob.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, you're welcome. So you were, you used this app for 10 years,
Yep.
right?
That's right.
And I think you met a lot of people, and you know many things how to improve your English, something like that, or to improve your, to speak another language. So do you have an advice or something like that to improve my English, to make
Yeah.
it,
Kasim, well, first of all, your English is actually pretty good. Your English is quite good, I think, really. Your pronunciation is great and your confidence is great. Your vocabulary seems really good. So what I think you should do is I'll put my YouTube channel in the chat, and you should follow my YouTube channel. There are many, many videos there you can watch where you can every live stream I do here, I also have on YouTube at the same time. So as soon as this is done, it will be uploaded to YouTube, and you can go and watch it again. And I have lots and
Mark,
lots of videos.
can they use YouTube there?
I think probably. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Kasim? It's too windy, Kasim, I can't hear you.
There are people on YouTube who's going to see this.
Yes. Yes, you can say
How
hello.
many?
Not too many on
Hello,
YouTube, but my followers on Hello Talk, I have about almost 64,000 followers on Hello Talk. No, almost 65,000.
That's
You
much.
you
I
you
have an Arabic channel on YouTube and I have about 3,000.
you
Okay.
turn around your camera, then you face the screen. You are on the YouTube live, Mark.
Well, I have this is all running on my computer, not on my phone. And so
Uh,
I have it one screen on Hello Talk and one screen on YouTube live. So
so they don't know you are Hello Talk live, right?
yeah, they do. Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they
So,
know.
teacher Mark, before my time, finish, I want to ask you, what do you know about Yemen or Arabic countries? What do you know about it?
yeah.
Well, I know a few words in Arabic. I can say Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam, shukran, afwan, na'am, lah, inshallah, alhamdulillah, merhaba, and kaifalik.
Kaifa hallo.
Yeah. I know a little bit of Arabic, and then I have many, 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 many Arabic followers from all around the Middle East. From every country.
I'm going to be one of them.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that, Kasim.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Because I think, you have a good, account, and I think I'm going to come here a lot.
Thank
So-
you, Kasim. Yeah, do. Make sure you come. And you can come and tell me more about Yemen next time, too.
Okay. Of course, it's going to be in tomorrow. You do this every day, right? You do
Monday,
this,
Tuesday,
stream.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not on the weekends, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
But in this time?
Yeah.
Every time you do it in this time?
About this time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to meet you soon. Anyway, what do you do to live? Is this your job? Like,
Yeah,
you
I'm a
teach?
teacher. Yeah. I teach lessons online and I do a lot of things, but mostly these days it's mostly teaching and building my business here as a live streamer.
Okay, so you teach online, but you don't teach in schools, right?
Not anymore. I used to.
Do you teach in school?
Used to.
I used
get
to.
it.
Yeah. And one more question. I want to ask you, is this English, which are you using right now, is the same English when you speak with people in your country, like when you speak in America? Do you use that English?
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
when you speak,
I might speak
it's
a little
the
bit
same
more.
language.
Yeah, it's the same language. I might speak a little bit faster sometimes with some of my friends, but mostly it's exactly the way you hear me now.
Do you use lots
Yeah,
of
so
snails?
I
Mark?
can understand you.
Not too many. Go ahead, Kasim.
It's... And did you study for university, teacher Mark?
I did a long time ago, but yes, I did.
What was your major?
Well, I had a bunch of different majors. I majored in music, I majored in history, I majored in sociology, I majored in culinary arts. I jumped around a lot. I like to learn, so I learned a lot
Okay,
of different
so-
things.
Okay, yeah, I understand. So you studied many things.
Yes.
And what do you think about university? Do you think is it a necessary thing, or I just can learn things online? I don't need it. What do you think about
Well,
that, mindset?
I think that you can learn a lot online if you're very critical about your learning. But I do think that having a degree, sometimes that's the thing that is most important to have to do something. So if you're just looking to improve yourself, then yes, you can learn a lot online. But if you want to actually use your education to get something better out of life, then usually they want you to have a degree. You know, I don't think that's the
Oh,
right way necessarily, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, I understand what you
Yeah.
meant. So you think I should study in university and at the same time I should learn online many things.
That's exactly what I
And
think.
what do you think? Yeah. What do you think about reading books? Do you read
Of course.
books?
Yeah, reading is still one of the best technologies that has ever been created. You can read a book that was written 1,000 years ago, and you're able to see the same thoughts that somebody had 1,000 years ago. That's like time travel. You know, it's like amazing the way that works. So reading is really important. I read every day. Yeah.
And what kind of books do you read usually? Like, do you have a specific kind of books you just read this kind and or you just read any book?
No, I don't read just anything, but I do read a lot of. I have a large digital library of books about various subjects. You know, whether it's nonfiction, a lot of nonfiction. So that means like stuff about science or history or politics or religions or culture. You know, books about the world and trying to understand the world better, you know? I like to read fiction sometimes too for fun, but I don't do that too often anymore. So I often read books about philosophy, history, you know, and sometimes I don't just read books, I read articles, a lot of articles every day.
Yeah. I think articles sometimes you can read the thing you want to read, and you know it's not that long, so you can read an article for maybe 1 hour or less than that.
That's right.
And you mentioned something, and I want to speak about that. You said that you have, you know, a digital library, something like
Library.
that. So you read the books library, yeah. So you read the books in your device, right?
Yeah, I read them on my phone or on my iPad. Yeah.
But what do you think about some people say that if you keep doing that, reading books on your device, then you know your eye,
I mean,
this is gonna to affect in your eye. Okay?
I think that there's some truth to that, but I think that you just have to make sure you spend enough time also outside. If you're balancing your eyes by doing things that are not close to the screen, I spend a lot of time in front of a screen, so sometimes my eyes do hurt because this is my job, so I'm always looking at a screen all day. But if I go outside and I spend some time outside and I'm using my eyes to look at far away things a lot too, then it's not that bad. I mean, I think that if you overdo anything, it can be bad for you. But I'm not going to you know, the fact that on my phone I have like 20,000 books, that's amazing. You know, like I have a library on my
20,000?
phone. Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to ask you one question about that. Is these books, you know, you pay for all of them, or you just get it in another way, you know, that way?
I paid for many of them, but some of them were gifted
about the
to
rest?
me. Some of them were gifted to me, we'll
to
say.
you.
They were gifted to me. The gods gifted them to me.
No, the God is not going to give you. Anyway, so I think you take some books, which is, you know, you should buy, but you take it in another way.
Well, let's
you
put it
download
this way. When you're a teacher, here's the way I see it. If you're a teacher and your job is to educate people, then I think that means you should have access to those books. Now, these books are also in the library. So I can get them from the library anytime I want. And the only books that I get are old books. I don't get new books that are out like right now. I get books that are from a few years ago. So that way, that's not the most, modern version of it.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking away from somebody who's buying a book that's a current version. I get the old versions. That way I'm not stealing anything that's new. Borrowing. I'm borrowing, not stealing. Borrowing.
You justify.
But I do buy as many as I can, of course, Kasim. Any author that I think deserves my support, then of course I support them. But when you're a poor teacher, then I don't have the money to buy 20,000 books, but I still think that having access to that knowledge when I can pass it on to other people, and also, Kasim, I will tell you this. I also recommend these books to so many people. Right? So a lot of people find out about these books because of me, so I'll tell them, oh, well, if you want a book about this, then you should get this book. If you want a book about this, then you should get this book. So I won't say that that's a justification, but I will say that I do my part to make sure other people know what book is the best book to buy for whatever they're trying to learn about.
Yeah, so you think it's like
I didn't say it's I didn't say it's justification. I'm just saying that I do my part to try to spread the word, like marketing.
Like Nate, huh?
Like Nate. That's right. Like Nate.
Wait, you told me that you recommend books to others.
Yeah.
So can you recommend your best book you've ever read in this life? Your best book, you know one.
It's too hard to choose just one. It depends on what you're trying to learn about or read about. I mean, I can never choose one book. I can never choose one song. I can never choose one kind of food that's the best food. There are too many. If you know about many, then it's too hard to choose just one. Knowledge is like a diamond. It has many facets.
But I understand you, but still there is a book where you really like that book and it affected your life and you think, your best book. It's I know it's difficult, but you have to choose. Not you have. I'm sorry. It's up to you, but if you want...
Okay, let me think. Wow, it's really hard. Okay, I will say that I think one of the best books in my collection is Khalil Gibran, The Prophet. Do you know Khalil Gibran?
What?
Khalil Gibran? Do you know Khalil Gibran?
Khalil Gibran.
Yeah.
This is an Arabic author.
And his name is Khalil Gibran, and the name of the book is called The Prophet.
The Prophet. He was speaking about Prophet Muhammad or Prophet Jesus.
Actually, no, he wasn't speaking about either. He was speaking just about a prophet. It's hard to describe. It's not any real prophet. It's just a prophet. The prophet is just a prophet. It's not really about Muhammad. It's not about Jesus. It's just about the idea, I guess. And it just has a lot of beautiful... Khalil Gibran was a brilliant man, and he had a lot of brilliant ideas. And that book has so many beautiful things in it to read about.
I think I'm going to read that book because, I want to read. I usually read English books, but I should read Arabic books.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That one is... And it's one of the most popular books in the world.
It's my first time to hear about that book. Anyway, for me, I just read 5 books, to be honest with you, and I just started my journey in reading books. I'm 18, and yeah, I'm going to read
18. Wow, man, your
20,000.
English is really amazing, Kasim.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, your English is really amazing.
Thank you.
Really,
I don't
really.
know, you now I can understand you, okay? But when I try to understand what are they saying in movies, like they're speaking too fast and saying something like I don't understand them, to be honest with you. I don't get
Yes,
what
but
are they saying.
that's
So
because movies and TV are not designed to try to educate you at all. They're just designed to be entertainment. So the language in movies may not be the best language, and they may not be speaking in a way that is proper. They might be using a lot of local common language and slang. So, of course, it's hard to understand. I speak like a teacher, so I try to speak as clearly and as not simply, but I try not to use too much slang or too many common phrases and common language that are not familiar to you.
yeah, so I think you don't speak with me like when you speak with the American, with your friends in America,
I speak.
right?
Yeah, that's a little bit. I do slow down more and I do make my language a little bit more proper and I pronounce things as clearly as I possibly can. So yeah, when I'm with my band, yeah, I speak a little bit differently with them, you know?
You got a band, Mark?
Sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, the water here. Anyway, I just want to tell you I have another perspective in that. I think, if I want to learn English, I think I'm going to speak with people who are going to speak with me in Ethiopic English, which you use in your daily life, not, with,
Well-
you get the point.
I get the point, but I do think that to learn language well, you should start by listening to the people who speak well, not just anyone. Kasim, it's like when you learn a musical instrument. If you learn the oud, are you going to listen to everybody in the world who plays oud, or are you going to listen to the masters of oud? You're going to listen to the masters because they're the models that you should try to emulate. You shouldn't just listen to some guy who plays it. He might not play it well.
So yeah, I understand. So you think it's the same thing in English language?
Yes,
Going to
you
listen
should-
to basic things.
You should model yourself
Yeah.
after people who speak well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
later,
but, when
you'll understand. The more you model yourself after those people, later you'll start to understand the people who speak in a more common way. It'll take a little bit of time, but you should always learn the proper way to speak before you learn the improper way to speak.
Yeah, by the time you will get the ability to speak like advanced English.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
So, anyway, I want to pray. I want to pray Al Maghrib. I think you read many books, so you know what is that, right? I'm Muslim. I think you know.
I do know.
Do you know what's that?
That's a
Yeah,
certain
so-
prayer. Yeah.
What do you think about it?
What do I think about
your
what?
perspective, your view of that thing, praying.
Of praying?
Pray.
I think that if that's what you do, then that's fine. I mean, everybody has their own way of looking at the world and way of looking at religion or God or whatever. So I don't judge anyone for whatever views they have. I think that your connection to God is a personal connection, and nobody should have anything to say about that but you.
Praying is just like meditation.
Well, for you,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But
Yeah.
also, people who's right, people who's right should tell people who's wrong about the right thing, And everybody in this world think he's right, but
That's right.
you're wrong in something.
Of course.
And I am wrong in something.
That's exactly
and he
right.
is wrong in something.
That's
and
right.
everybody make a mistake.
That's right. That's right.
But
So-
and eventually, I should tell you what I think, and you should tell me what you think. And yeah, and that's it. And I'm going to pray right now. You want
right.
to say something before I go?
Well, Kasim, it was wonderful to talk to you, and your English is really amazing, and I love your energy. You have great energy. You're very, very excited, and I can tell you really like to learn, and I think that's great. So I have all the confidence in the world that you're going to do well with English and with learning.
Yeah, keep going.
You have a curious mind, and I think that's really important. Curiosity is so important in this world. You must be curious, you must learn, you must ask questions and gain knowledge through your curiosity.
I cannot explain my feelings about that. Thank you very much for everything you said to me, and I really enjoy. It was my first time to get up to to somebody to bring me up in live stream, and I have enjoyed. Thank you to having me here, and I want from you to have me again when I come again.
Sure, come back and see me again, Kasim.
And sorry about my leave. I just have to leave, and I think
It's okay,
I
Kasim.
spent 20 minutes with you.
Yeah, it's okay, my friend. It's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
That's okay. That's okay.
so-
Thank you for coming. Shukran. Shukran.
Shukran. Yeah.
Goodbye now.
Okay, take care, Kasim.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Masana, man.
yeah, Nate, thank you very much for being so patient and letting him come on the stage for his short time. I know that you have VIP, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, so I appreciate you being patient like that. Thank you very much.
That's pretty fun and interesting.
Yeah, his English was amazing. 18 years
Yeah.
old and living in Yemen to have English
18
like
years
that,
old?
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, speak of the age. How old are you, Mark?
I don't I'm going to guess 23.
No, how old are you?
Oh, me. How old do you think I am?
Wait, my manager called me, okay?
Okay.
Mark, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, while we're waiting for Nate, I'll get Anas up here really quickly. Hello, Anas. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, thank you so much. Thank you for accepting me.
You're welcome. What can I do for you today? Do you have a question for me or something I can help you with?
Yeah, I have a lot of some questions.
Okay.
Number one, one question: can I use in translation in English? It is good or not?
Can you what?
Can I use translation in English?
You mean? Well, explain what you mean. Of course, translating can be useful sometimes, but do you mean in your mind translating?
No, in Google.
Oh, you can, but when you use it, you shouldn't use it like a crutch. You should use it like a tool for learning. So if you use it, then try to write it down so that you learn from what you translated.
You mean you can translate, but in your mind you should think in English.
Well, yes, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And another question: how many time required to learn any language? Is it 3 months or 6 months?
That's completely different for every person on this planet. There's no one
Yeah.
way to say how long it takes. It depends
Yeah.
on how much you study. It depends on how you study. It depends on how well you learn. It depends on your learning style. It depends on so many things. So many things.
Yeah, yeah, and it's necessary to test level before starting in English. Means I mean to test your English before start.
Is it
Necessary or not?
is it necessary to do what?
To test your level.
Not necessarily. No, I don't necessarily find the tests to be very useful. I think you just need to study, and study hard, and study in as many ways as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
possibly can. Don't just study one way. Study every way you possibly can. People are always looking for what's the one easiest way to learn something, but that's not the way your brain works. Your brain wants to learn in every possible way that it can. So you shouldn't limit your learning. You should try to learn in as many ways as possible with books and videos and apps and teachers and friends and family and YouTube and live streams and voice rooms and podcasts, everything you can use.
Yeah. You mean you can use variety in your language?
You should
Yeah.
use a variety in studying. Whatever you're trying to learn, you should use the most methods that you can possibly use.
And now you are teacher. You're teaching English. Yes, right. Can I ask you about when you learning any language? It's necessary or important to go do IELTS or not?
Well, that depends on what your goals are. A lot of people, if your goal is to get a better job or to travel or to emigrate, then yes, you need the IELTS. But if your goal is just to improve yourself and just to learn, then no, not necessarily. I studied Chinese, and I've never taken a Chinese proficiency test, the HSK. I've never taken one. I don't really care. There's no point to it to me. I mean, maybe I will one day, but my only purpose in learning a language is to express myself in that language. Right? So I don't really care what level I have. I only care if people can understand me when I speak. That's it.
You mean it's not necessary to level, but understanding is very significant about
Well, yeah,
language.
but again, it just depends on what your goals are in life. If you have, there are certain goals for learning that require you to take the IELTS. If you want to emigrate to another country, probably you need to take the IELTS. If you're trying to get a better job, then maybe you need to take the IELTS. Okay.
I understand you. And can you give me some method to learn to improve my English?
Well, follow my YouTube channel, and there are many videos on my YouTube channel that you can watch. And
Can you?
I have lots of tips.
What's your name's this channel?
You can find it right here. I put it in the chat there. There you go. Islam Muhammad has it there, and I have it there too. Both of us. That's my YouTube channel.
You see the Islam Muhammad?
Yeah,
Islam.
he's my friend in Egypt, and he helps me promote my channel.
Yeah.
So yeah, go to AFIEC English.
Yeah, I write it. Thank you
Okay.
so much. And
No problem.
and about movie, you can in my level, I can use movie. It's not. It's good.
You can watch movies, sure, but you should choose movies that are very useful to you. Don't choose movies that are not useful to your English. If you're trying to learn English, if you just want to watch movies for fun, that's fine. but not all movies are as valuable for education, right? So some
Yeah,
movies, the things they talk about, if they're talking
Yeah.
about space aliens and they're talking about drug deals and they're talking about, that's not useful for your English. But if they're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
real life, you know, family and friends and work and jobs, then those movies probably have English that's very useful to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank
And
you.
remember, Anas, that the secret of language learning is that language has to exist in your mind first. Before you can speak it well, or write it well, or read it well, or listen well, it has to be here first. In your mind.
Can you explain? I'm sorry. Can you explain more specific?
Yeah.
You should think or what?
Thinking in English, yeah. So when you're just doing your day, all day, whatever you do, if you go to the store, can you go to the store and think about it in English? Can you
Yeah.
can you cook your dinner and think about it in English? Can you watch TV and think about it in English?
You know, in Morocco, because I live in Morocco, I don't find friends speak English a lot. In faculty, I find some, but in my streets, I don't find.
Are you in
That's
are you
I-
in Marrakesh or where are you?
I'm in Fez.
Fez. Ah, okay. All
Yeah,
right. There are
You know
probably some people there. You just have to find them.
yeah. You should to find them in faculty, but you try. You will try. You want. Yeah.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Try.
I use HelloTalk. Can you give me some application for practice my English?
Well, I'm not very familiar with too many other apps. I think there's one called Practica.
Practica.
Yeah, Prakita, I think. Practica. No, not that. Practica. Sorry.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I think it's this one. I think it's spelled like that. Look online and you'll find it. Practica.
Yeah. Practica.
Okay.
Yeah. I find it. Yeah.
Anas, I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you go only because it's a
Because
little bit
I-
noisy
I-
there. But it was nice to talk to you, my
Yeah.
friend. And take care. Have a good day, and I'll see you
Thank you,
next
thank
time.
you so
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Ooh, yeah, it was a little bit noisy. And hello, Miguel, over here in my YouTube channel. And hello, Kasim. Look at you. You already found my YouTube. Good for you. I wants to know what's the difference between a phrase and a sentence. Sometimes nothing. It depends. A sentence could be only one phrase. It could be. But a sentence might have more than one phrase in it. And phrases are like, let me think of the best way to describe a phrase. I like to think of phrases as the separate ideas that are in one sentence, right? So, for example, let me find something to read. Okay, so here's a sentence. It's a pretty decent long sentence. According to legend, somewhere between 1915 and 1921, Chaplin decided to enter a Chaplin look-alike contest and lost badly. So I would say the phrases in that sentence are, according to legend, somewhere between 1915 and 1921, Chaplin decided to enter a Chaplin look-alike contest and lost badly. So there are 5 phrases in that sentence. Okay? And how do I know that? Sometimes it's easy because the punctuation will help you, right? So the first few phrases in that are separated by commas. But then the third and fourth phrase, it's Chaplin decided to enter and then a Chaplin look-alike contest. So in those two, I look at them as those are ideas. Chaplin decided to enter. He entered what? Oh, a Chaplin lookalike contest. So that's two ideas in there. That's the way I look at it. And then he lost badly. That's the final one. Okay? So, phrases are not always that easy to determine. And honestly, I think it's not necessarily a scientific thing. I think that it's somewhat one person might say this is the phrase and another person might say this is the phrase. Like it could be a little bit personalized in that way. Just like music is the same way. Music is the same way. Phrases happen in music also. And so, for example, if you use the song Fur Elise, so we have that's one phrase. That's another phrase. That's another phrase. So they're broken up by the ideas that happen, you know, the spacing between them. That's the way I would look at it, okay? Let's see. And let me go back and check to see if I missed any comments or questions here, because I wasn't paying attention too much. Sorry. Oh, David. David, do you guys have daylight savings time in China too? What? I didn't think you did. Or do you mean just here? Lapido, hello Lapido in the Philippines. Follow my YouTube channel and you'll find lots and lots of tips about English, or you can ask me here too. But, you know, Lapido, that's a big question. When you just say, how can I improve my English skills? They write books about that stuff, man. So you should ask a smaller question than that, you know? And again, everybody, if you don't know, Islam Muhammad there, he's always printing my, or posting my YouTube channel in the chat there. That's my YouTube channel that you can go to. He's not trying to promote himself. He's promoting me there, okay? He's a good friend of mine, and he's helping me here, okay? So Hafidi, you can go to that channel that that Islam Muhammad is posting. Sharon, how can you use YouTube in China? You're going to have to ask somebody else about that. They can probably tell you. I do have plenty of followers on my YouTube who are in China. I don't know how they do it. It's magic, I guess. Tamanyong Mofa. Hello, Ria. Good to see you again. Hello, Ayman, Yusuf. Why did I choose to be an English teacher? Well, I started as a music teacher, a drum teacher, and then after being a drummer for many, many, many years, I decided I was kind of tired of that. I needed to change, and so I decided to try something different, and a friend of mine lived in Taiwan, and he invited me to come and see Taiwan, and while I was there, I started teaching in English, and I enjoyed it, and that started my career as an English teacher. So that was in 2009. And yes, that's the one, Day Day, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Yeah. Hello, Carlos. Good to see you. Islam, don't worry. I can handle the tough questions usually. When somebody asks me something about God or whatever, my answer is very simple. That's a personal thing. Oh, uh-oh. I think my page is frozen. Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. There we go. So, yeah, as I was saying, we don't talk about religion here, but if somebody asks me a question like that, my answer is very simple. Your relationship with God, whatever you think of as God, that's your business, and that's a personal thing. That's a personal relationship with whatever you see as the higher being in this life. And no one can understand that except you. Okay. Dimitro, I'm sorry if I didn't get to your question, Dimitro. I get many comments and many messages on Hello Talk, and sometimes I just can't answer them all. But I will try to get to your message later. Okay. Hello, Razan Omar. Hello, Maria. Good to see you. Sonia wants to know, why do we say a player on the team instead of a player in the team? Well, Sonia, there are different situations when you might say either. On the team, think about it like a team is kind of like a boat. Are you on the boat or are you in the boat? You're on the boat. Get on the boat. Right? So think about it kind of like that. A team is a group, and it's a group that you join. And joining it is somewhat like getting onto something. Okay? But if you said, I'm a player in this team, that's not necessarily wrong either, because we say on this team, but we might also say in this, what's the word I'm looking for? The word is escaping me. In this, it's right on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of the word. There are situations when we might use when we might say in the team, but mostly we'll say on the team. Okay? Oh, well, that's interesting. Hamid says American English players say on the team, but British English refer to in a team. Well, Hamid, I'd say that, like I said, there are certain times when we will say in the team, but mostly we'll say on. It just depends on the context. Thank you for posting my YouTube channel, Rizan. And yeah, like I said, Islam, that's one reason why we don't talk about religion here, because religion is a personal thing for everyone. And what works for you does not work for everyone. That's what works for you. And arguing about something like that is a silly thing to do. Your relationship with God is your relationship with God, and no one else can understand that except for you. That's the way I see it. So it's not always a good thing to talk about because it can cause a lot of argument and conflict if people disagree with that concept. But I think it's a very simple idea to say that no one can understand that except for you. Hello, Athena. Good to see you. Okay. Would anyone else like to come on my stage and talk to me? Oh, here we go. We've got Mata Dobrieva. Hello, Mata.
Mark. Hey.
Hello, привет.
Привет. You must be speak so many languages.
I know a few words in many languages. I can't speak them all, but I know a few words. And one of my main principles in this world is that I think you don't. I think many people believe that language learning is too hard, and so they don't do it because they think you need to be fluent in order to learn a language. But I think there's a lot of value in just learning a few words in any language. If you can learn 10 words in someone else's language, then you can make them smile. And if you can make them smile, you can earn their respect, and then you can have a friend. So I know maybe 10 or 15 words in like 10 or 15 languages.
Yeah, I agree. For example, last year I learned to. No, I don't. I used to learn how to read Quran in Arabic.
Okay.
But I don't speak Arabic. I cannot understand this language. So when I start to learn this, I thought it's too difficult, and I could never ever could how to read Quran. But after 1 month, I learned that, and I can read Quran.
Wow.
But unfortunately, I don't understand the most of things there, but I can use the direction. So as you say, learning English seems really hard. But when some people want to do this, he just should step by step just start from little bit something, I don't know, some little step.
That's right.
Maybe 2 words a day he will learn, and after a few days or a few weeks, I don't know, he will learn more words, and he will understand more. So but Chinese language and Arabic language, they are for me they are the most difficult languages, because it's difficult letters, symbols, alphabet. It's everything
right.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because English language is more easy for me, because or Spanish, Italian, French language, because they have the same letters.
That's right. Yeah. Well, French and Spanish and Italian and Romanian and Portuguese are all related because they're all Romance languages. They all come from Latin originally. So that's why they all have the same alphabet, and there are many similarities between them, Yeah. Yeah. So in English is a little different, only because English is it's kind of a bastard language. And I mean that in a good way. I mean that it's 60% of our words come from Latin or Greek, 30% of our words come from French, 20-some% come from German, a lot come from Italian and Spanish and Arabic and Chinese and Japanese. We steal words from every language and add them to our language, and that's what makes it kind of complicated. Because, when we steal words from different languages, we keep the pronunciation sometimes, like the word cafe, that's French. And if it were an American word, then we would pronounce it as cafe, because it's spelled C-A-F-E, right? But it's French, right? And then the word kindergarten, that's German. The word shampoo, that's Hindi. The word car comes from a Latin word. So that's what makes English a bit complicated because we have so many influences from so many languages.
Yeah. Somebody asked me where I'm from. I'm
Yeah.
from Russia. Yeah, I'm
Where
from
in
Russia.
Russia?
I'm from Russia, from south of Russia. It's maybe you heard about Caucasus,
Oh,
the
yeah,
mountain.
sure. Yeah, the Caucasus Mountains, sure.
Yeah, I'm living in the smallest republic of Russia. It's called Ingushetia.
Let me see something. I'm curious. Let's see. So that's near Armenia and Azerbaijan, then, right? And Georgia. Okay. All right. I see that.
Georgia is really nearby our republic.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. So you're also like on the Black Sea there, on the east side of the Black Sea. Oh, you're right in between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea.
It's nearby. The Dagestan Republic have the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea, but
Okay.
we don't have any seas around us, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Oh, I see it now. Okay. All right. And do you have any questions for me, Mata, about English or anything else you want to ask me about?
You know, I heard that you said that you cannot use the movies or cartoons or some serials for improve your English.
Well, I didn't
And
say that exactly. I said you can, but I think you need to be selective about what you use. If movies are not designed to teach you anything. They're designed to be entertainment only. So there are no
I
English teachers who are standing there when they make the movies saying like, no, you can't say that. That's not proper English. They don't do that, right? So they use common language, not proper language, right? So for that reason, I think that you just need to be selective about it. But I know many people who have learned a lot from watching TV and movies and cartoons also. There's a girl I know in Iran. She's, what is she? 8, 9, and her English is amazing. It's incredible. It's like she was born in America, and she learned a lot from watching cartoons and Disney
I
movies.
think it's not really easy for people who don't speak English at all, because they cannot understand what does they say in movies without any subtitles. You know, just by hearing they're talking about. I think it's
Of course.
you should know a little bit English for understanding what does they say.
Sure. And then the other thing is when you're watching a movie for the purposes of learning a language, you need to watch it many times. You can't just watch it one time. You have to watch that one movie as many times as you possibly can. And the first time you watch it with nothing at all, no subtitles. Just see if you can hear and understand anything. Maybe you hear them say hello. Okay, then that's enough. Fine. But then the second time, watch it with subtitles in your native language. The third time, you can watch it with subtitles in English. The fourth time, and this is the most important one, you need to get the transcript. Every American TV show and movie has a transcript. What is a transcript? It means the printout of all of the words that they say in that movie. And you can hold that and you can make notes on that. And you can circle the words you don't know and you can circle the phrases that you want to remember because you like them. If you have a transcript, then you can actually make your watching the TV show or movie that can be useful to your learning. Without a transcript, it's useful, but it's not very efficient. With the transcript, you can make it very efficient, your learning. And then the final time you can watch it again with nothing, again, to see, have I improved? Now, the first time I watched it, I couldn't really understand anything. But after the fifth time, maybe I can understand a lot more. And that's why I think TV shows are better than movies, because movies, now there are movies that are 4 hours long now. That's too long. You know,
Yeah.
watch a TV show, they're 20
cannot-
minutes.
I cannot spend so
Right.
many times.
That's
or-
right. That's exactly right. But TV shows, and sometimes TV shows, you can find those have a lot more valuable language in them. You know, you can find TV shows about family and about friends and about work. That's good for your learning. But movies are often about, you know, fast cars or drug deals or space aliens and things like that. And those are fun. That's fun, but not very useful for your English. You know, like the new movie Dune that's out, you know, the Dune 2 or whatever. It's that looks like a really great movie and I want to watch it, but is that movie going to be useful for learning English? No. No, not at all.
What if I will change the language in my phone? It's Russian, of course. What if I will change the language in my phone to English language?
That will be
Does
better.
it help?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But more than that, what I tell people is what you need to change is the language in your mind.
Yeah.
Language
It's
begins in the mind.
complicated.
It is complicated. I know. There's a process that you can start with, though. You just have to start like a baby. The reason why everybody is so scared to do this is because right now you have an adult mind in Russian. And you have well, your English is quite good, but if you're learning English for the first time, then you have a baby mind in English. So you cannot express all of these complicated thoughts that you have in your native language. You don't know how to express those in English yet. But what do babies think about? They think about how they feel, what they want, what they need, what they like, and what they don't like. That's it. You know, so I'm tired, I'm happy, I'm hungry, I'm sad. I want this, I don't want that. I like this. I like ice cream, but I don't like, you know, Brussels sprouts. I need to go to the bathroom. I need to brush my teeth. Those are simple things that you can start with. And you don't need any grammar because babies don't know anything about grammar either. So in the beginning, that's all you should do is spend as much of your day, your regular day. This is why this is so important, because if you learn how to think in English, then you can practice a lot more. People are only, you know, they ask me, if I practice an hour a day, is that enough? Maybe, but it's gonna take a long time. Yeah, right. But if you learn how to think in English, then you can spend your whole day. When you watch TV, you can think in English. When you're making dinner, you can think in English. When you go to the grocery store, you can think in English. And that's a lot of practice. Language starts in the mind.
Sometimes I think in my mind English words and I speak as you say, when I'm cooking something or I don't know, clean house or do any stuff, I speak with myself in
That's
English.
good. Yeah, I do the same thing in Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, for some people it's like some weird maybe.
Sometimes when I'm doing that, like if I'm thinking in Chinese and somebody's talking to me, and then I'll reply "shema," which means what in Chinese, like because like my mind is still in Chinese mode. So you know, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like I said, what you need to understand about language is that all language, writing, reading, listening, and speaking, that starts in the mind. And if your mental language is weak, then your physical language will be weak. But if your mental language is strong, then your physical language will be strong. So if you're translating everything in your mind from your native language into English, that's not really speaking the language. That's translating. That's a big difference. And that's why you'll always feel nervous when people speak to you, because you need time to think about it. But the more comfortable you get with using English in your mind, now when I need to speak Chinese, I don't need to think about it usually. You know, I mean, maybe a complicated thought, I might need a minute to think about how do I say that properly. But for most of the things that I need to feel like I can express, I speak. But if you're never thinking in English, it's kind of like you put that English in a box and you put it in the closet, and now it's not ready when you need it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, I heard that if you want to improve your writing English, you should take some any English text, whatever it is, and try to type it on your laptop or computer, whatever. And I try to do this stuff, and I take some book in English. It's fairy tales. I don't remember what was it, and I try to type in my laptop this text.
You mean to translate it from Russian into English in your...
No, it was English text.
Oh, that's
and I
interesting.
just typed this.
Okay.
Will this some useful for me for improve my text English?
Is it
I
useful? Yeah.
don't need it actually for anything. Some people learn English or another language for traveling. I don't know, for their work or I don't know, for some reasons. But I don't need to learn English for
You're just doing it for
anything.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for myself.
Right.
I like English language, so I want to learn it enough and improve it.
Okay.
Just for
so
myself.
is that useful? Sure, it's useful. Anything that you try to use to improve your education can be useful. You shouldn't limit your learning. You should try to learn in as many ways as you possibly can. And if you think that's beneficial, great. Typing would be good. Writing would be better. There are studies now that show that for whatever reason, our brains assimilate knowledge better when we handwrite it compared to when we type it. So,
Okay.
so it would be better if you actually wrote it. But actually, the thing I suggest to everyone about how you can improve your writing, the number one way to improve your writing is to write a diary or journal. And the reason why is because when you write a diary, it can be anything. It can be your thoughts, your feelings, what you did that day, a poem you want to write, whatever. It could be anything that you're thinking. So basically, a diary is like your thoughts on paper. And if you write them and don't think about the grammar, just write as much as you can, as quickly as you can, then you can look at it later and you'll be able to analyze your natural way of using English to see where you make mistakes, because now it's on paper, right? So when we speak, or when we write, I should say, when we speak or when we listen, it happens too quickly, and sometimes it's too hard for us to hear things and make corrections about them. But when you write, now you have it there, and you can analyze it and you can improve it, right? So a diary is, I think, the number one way that you can improve your language is just start writing your thoughts and feelings and whatever you did that day, anything that you want a diary to be. It can be anything. Put that down on paper every day.
Incredible advice. I didn't, even thought about it. I will try. Thank you so much.
The thing that's
for
most
this.
important is don't try to correct yourself when you're writing it. Correct yourself after. So let your natural ability of English come out on paper the way it already is. And that way you can see most people, when they're speaking a language, they might have many mistakes, but there are usually 3 to 5 common mistakes that they always make. And if you can find those, that will be a dramatic improvement to your language. If you can just fix those 3 to 5 common mistakes that you always make when you speak or when you write, then because when you fix them on your paper, then you'll make a mental note of it, and then it'll happen.
Yeah.
It'll improve when you speak.
I have experience of this.
Yeah.
This is great idea.
I'm glad you think so.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. This is why I like doing what I do, because I get to talk to people all around the world, and it feels good to be able to interact with people from so many different places and feel like English is something that is binding us, That's why we call English a lingua franca. It means a common language. So if I go to Russia, can I find someone who speaks Spanish or French? Sure, I can. But will it be easier to find someone who speaks English? Probably. It's the most
Yeah,
common language
English is
between,
most.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not the most popular language in the world, but it is the most popular language in the world between people who don't speak the same language. Yeah. So Mata, yeah, and your English is great, by the way.
Thank you so much. I try my best.
You're doing wonderfully.
I have to go. It was pleasure for me to talk to you.
It was my pleasure as well. And yeah, make sure you come back and follow my YouTube. And or that's actually hard for you in Russia, I think, right
already
now.
did.
But okay, good. I'm glad. And
much.
come back and see me again
Okay.
sometime. Okay.
Okay.
Take care, Mata. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go back to the comments. Hello. Good morning, Juan Jose. All right. Yeah, she does speak very well, right? Yeah, learning by watching TV shows or movies can be very useful, but you need to think about how can you make it more efficient for your learning. Just watching a show is not necessarily the best way to learn. But if you can think about ways to make it more efficient, are you pausing it to if someone says something that you really like and you want to remember that, do you pause it and write it down? Do you have a notebook where you keep the phrases that you like to learn from TV shows and movies? Do you get the transcript online and analyze the transcript and study the transcript and try to understand the vocabulary you don't know and the slang words you don't know? And, do you have a list of phrases that you really want to remember because they're useful? TV and movies are great, but only if you make your learning style great when you watch them. Okay? That's right, Carlos. You have to have two worlds that way. And Takahiro, yes, I speak Chinese. My Chinese is not perfect, but it's good enough for me. Hello, DK. Good evening to you. Hello, Sho. Mr. Song says, let me tell you my issue for English. I am Chinese. We have so many English exams to pass. I know, Mr. Song. The truth is, Mr. Song, there are many problems with the way that they teach English in China. It's not a very good way. Everybody there is just learning to try to pass a test. And that means they're not really trying to understand. They're just trying to get the answers so they can pass. So I have met many Chinese people who passed the test, but they can't really use their English very well. Those tests are not a good way to actually determine how well you use English. Yeah. They're too focused on tests in general in China. I mean, even in America, I think that's true. There's too much focus on tests and tests. I know that you need some way to be able to assess people's ability, but that doesn't mean that a test is the best way. It's the most efficient way for that many people, but that doesn't mean it's a good way. When you look at people individually, as an individual, no, it's not a good way of assessing someone's ability. It's only good because they need to do it for billions of people. So that's the only choice they have, is to use these assessment tests. Which one is better, typing or writing? Kaivan, writing has been proven to be more effective for remembering. There's something strange about the way we write and how it assimilates the knowledge into our mind more effectively than typing. For some reason, nobody's really sure why, but writing, there's a physical nature to writing that typing doesn't have. Maybe after 1,000 years of typing, maybe typing will assimilate the same way. But right now, no. We've been writing for generations and generations, and the way we start learning our language is through writing, not through typing. So I think that it has a lot to do with the way we formulate our language skills as a child. We don't formulate them with a typewriter or a keyboard. We formulate them with a pencil, right? Can I recommend some good American TV dramas which are good for English learners? Maggie, like I said, I think any show that has to do with family, friends, and work, those three things, any of those are good. But I will also remind you, please remember, when you watch American TV shows, none of that is real life. Okay? Please don't think that the things you see on TV that's not the way we really are in real life. It's TV, everyone. It's TV. Okay? It might have a trace of truth in it, but it's not real. And don't think it is. You're judging our culture completely the wrong way if you're looking at it from a standpoint of, oh, I saw it on TV, so it must be true. No. No. Okay? Carlos started English with rock magazines back in the 90s. That's interesting. That's a fun way to learn. Hello, M. Faid. And that's right, Maggie. Friends is one of the best shows for learning English. It's old. It's an old show now. It's more than 10 years old, but it's still valuable because it's still about family, friends, and work. So that's why people still use that show. And 50 years from now, people will still be watching Friends and laughing and learning because some things don't change. And that show, has some general truths about family, friends, and work that you can always count on. Okay? What time is it here? It is 10:37 a.m. Tom, yes, I'm a drummer. I play all kinds of music, any kind of music. If you listen to a live stream like this, is it better than a movie? Yeah, I think so. I'm an English teacher. It's my job to actually teach. Movies are just there for entertainment. They're not designed for education. I'm trying to teach people. I'm trying to educate people and help people. So, yes, it's definitely here. It's better. Yeah. Your friend Pablo is afraid he has a job interview in English. He's feeling lost. Well, remember, Carlos, I always say that every job interview, no matter what language it is, job interviews are all about confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. If you have confidence, not arrogance, but confidence, then you'll get the job, more likely. But if you walk in there and you're not confident, when someone wants to hire somebody for a job, that means they need help. They're looking for someone to help them. You have to look like you can help. You can't look like you are a problem, right? They're not going to hire a problem. They're going to hire a helper, right? Hello, Jane. Thank you very much, Rizan. Thank you very much for promoting my channel, Rizan. Hello, Amaima. Tom likes Hotel California very much. Yeah, that's a very popular song in Asia. I learned that when I lived in Taiwan. everybody was playing that song. Welcome to the Hotel California. Can I play it? Yes, I can. Not now, though. And actually, I've decided. Yes, Kasim, I can see your writing. I can see what you're writing. Hello, Kasim. So I've decided to change something about my live streams a little bit. I think I'm not going to play the live music on the stream anymore for a few reasons. One, because of copyright problems when I post it to my YouTube channel. Two, because the quality sometimes I think is not good enough. When people are watching live, the performance you see and what you hear, it has too much to do with whether the connection is good, right? So here's how I think I'm going to change that. I still want to play music for you, but what I want to do is I want you to send me whatever songs you want me to play. Send me a message and tell me what song you want me to play. And I will make a list of songs, and not on live stream. I'll go ahead and record those, on my own time. And when I record them on my own time, I can record them with perfect audio quality and video quality and then upload them to YouTube. Okay? And they'll be separate songs so that you can just watch the one song by itself, not the entire stream to see the song. So I think that'll be a much better system for playing these songs. Okay? Hello, Abdo. Hello, Farad. Can I give you examples of what, Pungs? You mean TV shows? Let's see. The Big Bang Theory is pretty funny. How I Met Your Mother is pretty funny. Seinfeld is a funny show, also old like Friends, but it's still funny and still useful. The Office is a funny show that's about work and life and family and friends. Let's see. Believe it or not, but the TV show The Simpsons is a cartoon show, right? And it's been around for a long time. It's actually very useful for a few things. That is a show that you can learn a lot about American culture from. There are many, many good examples of, American values in certain ways in that show. Remember, though, it's still just a cartoon and it's not completely real life. It's just anecdotally, it does tell some interesting stories about American culture. Let me see. Oh, excuse me. Well, I'm looking for shows that are relatively new. Some of these are old. Most of these are old. Let me see if I put a year in, if that makes a difference. Oh, it looks like they're going to do a show about Julia Childs. That looks interesting. At least I think it is. Julia Childs was an American chef who popularized French cooking in America. And I love her. I used to love watching her show, her cooking show. Well, I'll have to do a little research because, these are all new, so I don't really know if they're good or not. I can't really recommend them yet. But as I said, any show about family, friends, and work, those are more useful to you, okay? Hello, Kadir. I'm doing okay. Carlos is teaching his son. Good for you. Hello again, Zebra. Good to see you. Zebra. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but hello. Good to see you again. Yes, show. I'm a drummer. Hello, Moji. What's the difference between wake up and arose? Well, arose is past tense of arise. He arose. You arise. And arise is less specific. If I just say he arose from his bed, he arose from the couch, that doesn't necessarily mean he was sleeping. That just means he got up from a lying position. He was in a lying position and he got up. He arose. Okay? But wake up means that you were sleeping and now you're awake. Okay? So I would say that the similar word would be wake up and awake. Awaken. Do I agree with learning English words by memorizing words? No. Memorizing is the worst way to learn, Robert. I tell people that often here. I haven't said it in a while, so I'm going to say it again. Hold on. Here's what I say about memorizing, everyone. Memorizing is the worst way to learn. All right? Don't memorize. It doesn't work. That's why everyone always asks me, how can I memorize words better? I always forget them. I get asked that question every stream just about, because memorizing is a terrible way to learn. You can read about it online. There are many, many, many studies that show that memorizing is not a good way to learn at all. Okay? And the reason why, Robert, is very simple. Memorizing is boring. Your brain doesn't like boring. Your brain forgets boring things quickly. Your brain wants creativity. Memorizing has no creativity. So, find a way to use creativity in your learning, and you will remember the words. Okay? And thank you, Islam. I appreciate that. Yeah, Zebra. I like to have it as both music and learning. I didn't see why that was so confusing. but yeah, I think for other reasons, I think I want to separate them. What's the difference between wake up and get up? Again, same thing. Wake up means that you were sleeping. Get up it could mean sleeping, or it could just mean to get up from a lying or sitting position. Neo, will we get a new dog? Probably not. Not right now, at the very least. I will probably have another dog at some point in my life because I love to have dogs, but I think we need to have a little bit of time to mourn. A house feels so empty when you lose your pet. So we're still dealing with that. Neo says, but I have to know the words. Well, Neo, I didn't say you shouldn't learn words. I said you shouldn't use memorizing as your way of learning words. There are a million other ways to learn words that are far more effective. Any other way is better than memorizing. Okay? But Neo, we've talked about those. You've been here. You've seen my streams. You know I talk about reading books is a great way to learn vocabulary words. Learning, get a thesaurus, thesaurus.com, dictionary.com. It will be a very great way for you to learn new words. Etymology is a great way to learn new words. It's much easier to remember the word if you find out where the word comes from and it has an interesting story. Okay? Learning words by topic, by related topic. So learn all the words related to food. So vegetables and fruits and meats and fish and how to cook them and how to order them in restaurants and how to, all those words are related. The most important thing about learning new words is that you must have a system. If you don't have a system, you're not going to be successful. Okay? So that's what I would suggest. Okay? All right, now I've answered all the questions. Let me see if there's anybody else who wants to talk to me. Let's see, we've got Amal Ritaj. Amal Ritaj in Morocco wants to talk to me. Amal, hello, come on my stage. Amal, no? Okay, how about Bill? Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hello. Teacher. I'm great. I'm sorry, I'm sitting in my
That's
my
okay.
bed.
I know it's
I'm so
nighttime
sorry.
there. It's all right.
Yes, it's almost 12 o'clock
Yep.
a.m. Yeah.
So what can I do for you today, my friend? How can I help you?
I just came to your live stream because I feel so. I think you are a very creative, thoughtful person. So I just want to talk with you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. I think you're a good. I think you are good teachers. You have given us so many good advice. So I
I
just want to
appreciate
say
that.
thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My ideas are a little different than what traditionally people are told about language learning. But that's because that the ways I was told about language learning, those ways didn't work for me. So I had to make my own new ways, my own ideas. And most of the ideas that I have about language learning are the same things that I use for learning music. I just apply those ideas to language learning. And it's very effective because music is just another language, really.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And for most Chinese students, we learn spoken English from, outside school. We cannot not learn spoken English in school. For example, when I graduated, I cannot speak a full sentence. I'm not. I'm scared to speak with foreigners, but I try to learn it from the beginning after graduation. Yeah. Thanks for the internet.
Yeah, isn't that funny how that works? Like you're supposed to learn in school, but if you graduate from school and you still can't use that, think about it like this. If you took a music class for 1 year and after that 1 year you still couldn't play any music, someone would say that's a bad class. That's something's wrong, right? But that happens with language learning all the time. It happens here in the United States, too, when we learn any second language. The way they do it now, the way they teach things, the way they teach language now, if you study German or Spanish or French, I would say about 30% of the people who graduate can use that language and actually, maybe less than 30%, can actually use the language and speak and, use it effectively. But the rest of them, it's just like China, where they study and they pass the test, but they can't use the language. They don't focus on the right things. And they never talk about the most important part of language learning, thinking.
Yes, I think the mind. I mean, you need to know how to use this language, not to just pass the examination.
That's right.
Because in the class, maybe there are 50 or 60 students in the class. The teachers cannot give the opportunity for everyone to speak. So the only way for them to teach is to tell some words, grammar,
Right.
some just like these things. Yeah.
They
So,
focus on grammar
mm,
way too much in China. I mean, all over the world, they focus on grammar too much, but especially in China, they focus on grammar, grammar, grammar. And, I have met English teachers who they probably know more about grammar than I do, but they can't speak that well. And their
yes,
idea of
they
correct is
can.
only about grammar.
Yes, grammar is not the only way to learn English.
Grammar
I
is
understand
not
this.
language at all. Grammar is talking about the language, but it is not the language itself. There are many people who learn English who don't know anything about grammar. Just like music, music has its own grammar. We call it music theory, right? So the scales, like the C scale and the F scale and the major and minor scales and chords, that's what we call music theory. And I can talk about music theory with my friends and they understand me. That's talking about music, though. That is not music. That is talking about music, right? And it can
Yeah.
help you to understand music better. But for example, Elton John is one of the most famous musicians of all time. He doesn't know much about music theory at all. Eric Clapton is one of the most famous musicians of all time. He doesn't know much about music theory at all. They make beautiful music because they're focused on making the music, not just talking about it, right? And that's the problem with language learning all over the world, is that they don't focus on just using the language. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. We learn the language to communicate. Yeah, to talk with interesting people, to
That's right.
learn something new
That's
on
right.
the internet.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's the reason why we learn this language, not to pass the examination.
That's exactly
So,
right. Life is
I,
not a test, everyone. Life
that's
is not a test.
yeah, life is not test, but the system, the education system gives the students too much pressure to, yeah, so
Yeah,
they have to do the tests.
I know.
But
Yeah,
for mm, it, we have no choice.
I
Yeah,
know.
yes,
I know.
maybe in most countries, yeah.
I taught English in Taiwan for 4 years, so I know.
Oh, for 4 years.
Yeah,
So now, what's your job? I mean, what do you do in your I mean, currently?
I teach still, but I teach online now. And when people
Oh,
ask me, when
oh,
people ask me what
got
my
it.
job is, I answer them with a weird way. My job is being me. And what does that mean? It means I do anything that I can do. So I'm a musician, and if there are people who call me and say, "Hey, can you play?" and I can come play, and they know I can show up and do the music, because that was a job for me too. That is one of my jobs. I teach drums also, and I teach English also, and I've done marketing work. I used to work for Hello Talk as a marketing guy, and I've done translation work, and now I'm writing a book and trying to build my own YouTube channel and trying to, become a social media guy, right? So it's like I ask people, do you know who Da Vinci is? Da Vinci.
Oh, yeah, I know this guy because
What was his
he was
job?
the most talented person
Right.
in this world.
That's right.
He knew a lot of fields.
That's
Yes,
right.
and
But the
he
reason, the
became
reason,
the experts.
that's right. But the reason why is because he didn't define himself as one thing. He did anything that he felt he could do, and he wanted to learn about all of the world. So he learned about music and art and architecture and math and science and history and inventions, and he did anything he could do. His job was being himself. That's the way I see my job, is being me, doing anything that I can do. And I want to encourage more
Oh.
people to think of themselves that way, because I think it's sad when people define themselves as only one thing. If you're a doctor, that's great, but you're not only a doctor. You could do other things. You know, if you're a lawyer,
Yeah,
that's great,
I
but you could do other things.
I totally agree with you because that can make your life much interesting because you but nowadays most people cannot make their life and work balance but as for you you can do a lot of things that's very challenging but it's deserve I mean deserve it you deserve it
And
I
there's
mean
another
your
part of
hard
this
work
too, is there's another interesting part of this. People listen to me and they like my ideas because they haven't heard them before. And the reason you haven't heard these ideas before is because I'm a musician. So I'm applying the ideas from music to language learning. That's unique. That's different. That hasn't been done before. So this is why I'm telling you AI, everybody's talking about AI and how AI is going to, replace many people's jobs and stuff. Well, if you are more than one thing, if you combine your talents, right, then you have less of a chance of being replaced. But if you're only one thing, then it's much easier to replace you. And the ideas that I
yes
have from music make me a better English teacher, and the ideas from teaching make me a better musician. And I'm also a good cook. The ideas from cooking make me a better musician, and all of those talents, they help each other. If you learn one thing and you learn another thing, eventually you'll start to see how they're related.
yes and I think AI can also help us to become I mean expert in some field. This, for example, you just mentioned you can write diary every day because you can read it because it can help you to find the
That's exactly right, Bill.
mistakes,
Yeah, that's right. That's
and
what I tell
AI can
people
help
is
you to find
that's
it,
right.
and it can polish your writing.
That's exactly right. You should, if you have
So
access to ChatGPT or AI, then yes, write your diary into that and tell AI, tell ChatGPT, correct my mistakes and tell me what I did wrong, and it will very effectively.
yes, that's a way I tried to use a few days ago, and I think AI helps a lot.
It can, but you should just always remember that AI is still just a new tool, and sometimes it's not actually correct. So you have to still remember the internet.
Yeah,
The internet is still the internet, and that means that if you're a smart learner, then you have to be a critical learner, which means that you should never accept one answer from one source. You should always check that answer with another source to make sure it's correct, or many sources.
yes. The ability to find resource on the internet is very important, and you
Yeah,
need to, I mean, to make sure and which one to choose, which
that's right.
source you want to use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I watch the news, I don't watch just one. I watch like 5 or 6. And it's just like history, right? When you read about history, if you only read from one point of view, you're not going to get the entire truth. But if you read from many points of view, then you'll probably get a better idea of what really happened, right? The news is the same way. You have to watch not just one channel, you have to watch many channels, and then maybe you'll get a better idea of what's really happening. And the same thing is true with the internet. Anything that you're trying to learn, okay, read one website. That's wonderful. But now you need to question it. Question. Always question whatever you're learning. And because questions, there's no sin in questioning. There's only a sin in not questioning. Because if you just accept things that you're told, then you're easily manipulated.
Yes, the ability to ask question is very crucial.
Yeah.
You need to ask when you read a story. You need to ask tell yourself. What's the main idea? What that the author wants to tell us? And when you read a news, you need to tell yourself, is this true or false? So, but especially on the internet, there are so many comments about one news, about the news. Maybe you need to find the truth behind it.
Critical thinking.
And
we call it
I
critical
have
thinking.
another confusion for me, because nowadays we are addicted to the social media. So for most young people, they don't have enough time to focus on their stuff. They cannot improve themselves through internet, but they waste time on the internet.
That's true. Yes.
It's very
So
yeah.
that's why I tell people, sometimes parents, they say, my kid plays on the phone too much. Okay, maybe, but a phone is just a tool. A computer is just a tool. And a tool is only as good as its user. So if I have a hammer, right, I can build a house, or I can just break things. So when your children are using the phone, if they're playing stupid games, then yeah, maybe that's not a very good use of their time. And look, I know there's a lot of people who like video games. I like them a little bit too, but I try to keep in mind that it's not a very good use of my time if I'm doing it too much. It just is not. You cannot justify it. There are hundreds of other things you could be doing that might be more beneficial to you and the world than playing a game where you kill people with a bunch of friends. Okay? So I know that's not a popular opinion to have, but it's my opinion. You could be studying, you could be learning, you could be reading, and no, those things are maybe not as fun as going bang, 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 but they are much more useful to you and the world, right? So again, I think if you want to play some games for some relaxation, that's okay. But if you're using it as what we call escapism means you're basically trying to get away from the real world, and you're in a fake world that's not real, and you feel like you're gaining something because you're winning the game. But when you finish winning that game, what did you really gain? Not much.
Maybe
Not much.
it was just frustration, maybe.
Right, frustration.
Because
Now, there are some students, I've had some of my students who argue with me about this, and they say, well, I'm learning vocabulary and I'm talking to foreigners and stuff. Yeah, but you're not actively trying to learn, and you know that. You know you're not. You don't play your game and say, oh, I'm going to learn English today. I'm really going to learn. You're not trying to learn. You're trying to not learn. You're trying to turn your brain off. And I'm just trying to tell you that if you're spending too much time turning your brain off, that's not good for you or anyone else. And I understand that life is hard and we feel stress and we need to find a release for stress. But you need to try to decide, are you spending time on relaxation or are you escaping reality? There's a big difference.
Because a lot of people feels tired after studying or working. Maybe they just want to relax. That's okay, but you cannot spend too much time on it.
I agree. Right. I completely
You
agree.
need to
And even I like to play a game every now and then, not very often, but every now and then I like to play a game sometimes, okay? But again, the games, and you have to also remember, these games are designed to be addictive. They are designed to be addictive, just like bad food is designed to be addictive. Fast food tastes great. Why? Because it has tons of sugar and tons of fat in it. It's delicious, but is it good for you? If you ate McDonald's every day, would you say that's a good thing? No, but you don't think about video games the same way. Video games are just as, they have just as much of an addictive quality that can be negative to your life. And again, I'm not saying that you can't play video games. I'm just trying to get you to rethink about how you play video games and how much you do it, and how much time do you spend turning your brain off? How much time? If you're spending too much time turning your brain off, there's nothing good about that. There's nothing good about that. So, but on the other hand, I'm also telling you that if you want to play video games, just like I said, watching TV and movies, you can watch TV and movies, but you can learn while you're doing it. So find ways to make those things actually beneficial to your learning. Get a notebook and say, okay, I'm going to play this video game, but I'm going to have a notebook for this video game. And every vocabulary word that I learn, I'm going to write it down. Or new phrases I learn from people I talk to, I'm going to write it down. That's okay. Now you're effectively trying to make that escapism somewhat positive to your learning, right? So, like I said, again, I understand you talk with your friends, it's social, and it's a way to de-stress, right? We have stressful lives. It's a way to de-stress. I'm just trying to tell you that you need to remember those games are designed to be just like a drug. They affect your mind just like a drug would. And if you're using drugs as escapism, you wouldn't think that's good.
Yes,
Right?
maybe you need to develop other hobbies, just like motivate yourself to go outside to make new friends and
Right.
exercise.
So guess what? I have never owned a Wii. I've never owned a PlayStation, modern PlayStation. I owned the very first PlayStation. That was like Mario Brothers. That was the only one. So I have no idea even how to use these new games. But you know what I do know how to do? I'm a pretty good drummer. I can cook. I can speak Chinese. I read. I know about the world. So I gotta say, I feel pretty good about balancing my talents against somebody who spent their time playing video games. And I feel like an old
Elsa
man.
said, you are a role model. Yeah, I learned a lot from you.
Well, again, I feel like an old man trying to say these things because I know video games are so fun and they're so popular. And I get that. I'm just trying to make you understand that sometimes those things are stealing your life away from you, not just letting you relax. They're actually stealing your time. What's more valuable in this world than time? Nothing. There is. What would you rather have, money or time? Almost everybody will say time. So if time is so valuable, then you should consider how you spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you so much for sharing so much valuable ideas with us. Yeah.
Well, I hope they're valuable. They're my ideas.
Actually, a lot of people know it, but they cannot practice it.
Right. And it's hard. Again, look, I like to eat fast food too. But do I eat it all the time? No, I do not. And like I said, I like to play a video game now and then too. But do I do it every day? No, I do not.
But
Again,
you can become better. Than before. Maybe tomorrow you can improve a little bit more than yesterday.
And that's all you need to do. That's right.
The improvements for you.
That's
you
right.
You can praise yourself.
That's right. Like I said, just remember, they make those games fun, and that's great. They're fun. But again, there's an addictive quality to that they're designed to be as fun as they possibly can make them because they want you to spend as much time as possible on them. And they are not trying to teach you anything when they play those games. Actually, that's one thing I will say. There's one game that I used to play. I haven't played it in many years, but I used to play a game called Civilization. And it was a PC game, and it was all about building a civilization, and you could choose to be the Egyptians or the Greeks or the Russians or the Chinese or the Japanese, and you start building a civilization. I liked that game because when I did play that game, I was learning. I was still learning. That game actually had real historical stuff in it about the real history of all these civilizations. So I learned about, the different peoples and cultures by playing that game. So I didn't feel that bad about that game because it did have some actual value for educating me. I didn't feel as bad when I played that game. Now, again, not every game I played was like that, but even the games that I did play, I've always tried to think about it like, what can I learn from this? What can I learn? What can I learn? What can I learn? Even when I'm relaxing, I still want to try to think about what can I learn, And you can too.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Go ahead.
After playing that game, it can give you a sense of achievement. I mean, of fulfillment because you learn a lot, you create a lot.
That's right. When I did that game, but sometimes the games that they make, they give you a sense of false achievement. You win the game, but you spent hundreds of hours of your life doing it, and
you missed a lot.
That's right.
Yeah.
You made a few friends and you chatted a bit, okay, and maybe you learned a few new words. But let's be real, everyone. Let's be serious and be real. If you spent 100 hours playing a game and you made a few friends and you learned a few new phrases, that's not a very beneficial way to spend that 100 hours of your life. Okay.
It's not economic.
That's right. So again, just remember, look, think about Da Vinci. Would Da Vinci spend his time playing video games? Do you think if he were alive today, do you think he would spend his time playing video games? I don't think so. Would Albert Einstein play time, doing that? Would Michelangelo spend time doing that? Would Richard Feynman, spend time playing those games? I don't think so. And if those people are people we admire, then maybe we should think about that a little bit. So think about whoever your heroes are. Bruce Lee, another one of my heroes. I don't think Bruce Lee would waste any of his time playing any video games ever. He was famous for how many books he had in his library. He had his own personal little library, and he read thousands of books. I'm pretty sure that he would think that, no, that's not a good way to spend my time. And I'll tell you this again. Here's one more thing that you need to think about too, is when people learn language, one of the first things that you need to understand about learning language is that you don't understand what practicing really is. Okay? Bruce Lee said, I don't fear a man who kicked 10,000 kicks, but I fear a man who kicked one kick 10,000 times. So that means that if you do one thing 10,000 times, then you are going to be a master of that thing. So when people tell me, well, Teacher Mark, I've tried to speak to people, but I can't. And I ask them, how many times did you try? And they say, well, I tried 10 times, or I tried 5 times, or I tried 20 times. If you didn't do it 1,000 times, then you didn't do it. When you see a musician and you see them and you say, oh, wow, they're so talented, they're so amazing. No, you're seeing thousands of hours of practice. You're just seeing the performance.
Oh, I have another example, I like playing basketball and watching NBA games. I mean, Stephen Curry is my favorite basketball player, but he was good. He is good at shooting, but he is a very talented person. But I'm sure he must spend
Yeah,
a lot
how
of
did he get
hours.
that time?
Yeah.
How did he get that way? That's exactly right. How did he become so good? Did he, again, how much time do you think he spends playing video games?
Yeah.
You know?
So
So,
we
yeah,
need to find our passion. Yeah.
you
Find
need
our
to find your
and spend
passion.
time
That's exactly right.
on
And
it.
how do you find your passion, everybody? It's very simple. Here's the only quote that's my quote that I try to say to people. Curiosity is the smoke of passion. So we all think,
Curiosity. Yeah. Yes.
when we think of passion, we think of fire, right? Passion is my fire, right? Well, curiosity is the smoke. Smell it. Find out where's that fire. Follow it. Follow that smoke and you'll find the fire. Curiosity is there for a reason. Your curiosity was put there to teach you that, oh, go learn about that thing. Find out more about it. And the more you're curious about it, the more likely that is your passion. Okay? So,
Yeah, I agree with you. The time when you lose the curiosity, the time when you become old. I mean, yeah,
that's
if
exactly
you
right.
keep
Yeah,
learning something
that's
new.
exactly right.
It's just like today. Today I motivate myself to talk with you. It's something I try to do it. I never talk a person. I mean, face to face in this platform. But today I motivate myself to raise my hand to talk with you. That's a great achievement for me.
It
So
is.
maybe next time, tomorrow, maybe next month, I can do it once again. So you need to try something new. I mean, the curiosity will tell you the direction
That's right.
and tell you how to improve
That's right.
and where
Be
you will.
curious.
And the curiosity will help you to go further. Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you so much. I'm so glad to talk with you tonight. Maybe some volunteers want to talk with you. I will not stay in this
that's
live
okay,
stream.
Bill.
I hope to talk with you.
You did very well. And again, I'm glad that you raised your hand because confidence is one of the most important parts of language, just like music. When you see a musical performance, if they're not confident, then it's not good. If they're shy or they're nervous, they can't perform well, right? So when you pay money to see a performer, what you're paying is to see somebody who believes in themselves, right? So you need to believe in yourself the same way when you speak. When language is the same thing. So much of language is a performance. To perform well, you must be confident. And yes, Bill, you are very good, and you'll
we
do
are
well.
the actor. Yes,
That's right.
in our life. Yes, we need to try our best to perform in every stage.
That's
in our
exactly
family, in our work office. Yes.
And
I
one
think the
last
guys
point I want to make about learning things. It's a funny point I want to make because sometimes people, whenever I hear someone say, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored, anytime someone says that, the first thing I say is, well, maybe that's because you are boring. If you don't do things, if you don't have things that are your things to do, things to learn about, then yeah, you're bored because you don't do anything. So, and if no one is interested in you, if people are not interested in you as a person, then it's because you're not interesting enough. You need to make yourself more interesting. Develop yourself. Develop yourself. Sometimes guys come on here and they say, how can I get a girlfriend, Teacher Mark? And it's a funny question because what do I know? But I say one simple thing. Why does a bee go to the flower? A bee goes to the flower because the flower is pretty and it smells good. It's interesting to the bee. It's interesting, so the bee goes to it. If people are not interested in you, it's because you did not make yourself interesting enough. So People are interested in me because I know about languages. People are interested in me because I know about culture. People are interested in me because I know about music. People are interested in me because I know about food. Those are things that are interesting, right? So make yourself interesting and people will be interested. Make yourself interesting and you won't be bored ever
if
again.
Yes, I agree with you. If I want to become interesting, it means I need to be interested in some area
That's
and
right.
practice more.
That's
And then
right.
someone maybe will think you are an interesting
That's
person.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And at last, I want to say thanks for the friends in this chat room. Someone, I think that they gave me some encouragement. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see, you're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Last thing, Bill, is there's a famous American painter. His name was Bob Ross. And one of his quotes is one that I really like. He said, "Talent is a pursued interest." So when you see somebody who's talented and you say, wow, they're so talented, that means that person was interested in something and they chased after it. They didn't just ignore it. They found something that they liked to do. So he was a painter. He learned how to be a great painter because he was interested in it and he did it a lot. If you do anything a lot, you'll become great at it. That is the way it works. Talent is just a lot of work. That's it. Okay? So whatever you're interested in, pursue that thing, chase after that thing, and eventually people will look at you and say, wow, they're so talented.
Yes, I think your time and your energy, you spend your time and your energy on some area, and that will make you become interested.
That's exactly right.
Interesting.
Yeah. And again, everybody, I'm not trying to be anti-video games. I'm just trying to, come on. Be real. Be real. If you were trying
Be
to
yourself.
Don't lie to yourself. Lying to yourself is the worst kind of lying you can do, right? That's why one of my phrases that I live by is Shakespeare from Hamlet. To thine own self be true. This above all, to thine own self be true. It means don't lie to yourself. Of all the lying you can do, that's the most damaging that you can do. And if you're lying to yourself by saying, well, no, video games are really good for me, come on. Come on, man. And again, just think of any of your heroes. Think of one of your heroes, think of one of your idols, and ask yourself if they spend that much time doing that thing. Do you think LeBron James plays video games all day? I don't think so. Do you think Albert Einstein would play video games all day? I don't think so. Da Vinci? I don't think so. No. So, again, just try to think about it that way. And those people are not special. This is my belief. Albert Einstein is a genius, but that doesn't mean that he's special. Anyone can be a genius. They just don't try to be a genius.
Maybe there is something wrong.
They just don't try. It's very simple. They just don't try. Einstein had another quote that was good. If you judge
Mark.
Yeah.
It's Lehman, maybe. Okay.
Oh, am I frozen again?
This room. Bye-bye.
Okay. I think I'm frozen. Bill, are you there? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Alex, I see your questions there, my friend. I'll get to you in just 1 minute. Hold on. Bill, hello. Sorry, Bill. I lost you there for a second. Are you there? Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Bill. I lost you there for just a minute. My internet cut out for a second. But yeah, I was just going to say that Albert Einstein, he also said something like, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, of course it's going to think it's stupid. But that's not the way it works. A fish is supposed to swim. Can you guys hear me now? Hello? Yes? Okay, Islam says yes. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Bill, are you still there, Bill? Uh-oh, I think I lost Bill now. Uh-oh. Bill is frozen. Yes, ground control to Major Tom. That's a good one. Bill, Bill. There we are.
Thank you so much.
You're coming back, Bill. All right, there we go. Yeah, you're back. All right, Bill. Yeah, it was wonderful to talk to you, Bill. And I'm glad you came on my stage. And I hope now you understand. You have the confidence to talk to anybody you want to. You just have to raise your hand and do it.
Yeah. I will talk a lot more in this app. Thank you so much. I hope to meet you in the future.
I hope
Bye-bye.
so too, Bill. Take care, my friend. I'll see you next time, okay? Bill and Mark's excellent venture. You're funny, dude. All right, yeah. So again, everybody has their own talents. Everybody has their own skills, but not everybody tries to find them. Not everybody even tries to find them. And you have to think about it like diamonds, everybody. Diamonds they're just not just sitting on the ground waiting for you to pick one up. If you want to find a diamond, you have to dig for it, right? And then once you find that diamond, it still doesn't look beautiful yet. You have to polish it and cut it in order for it to look beautiful, right? That's the same as your talents and your skills. You have to find them, which requires some digging. And then once you find it, you have to refine it. Okay, and that takes time. All right? Alex has got some questions here. Hold on. Let me see if I can answer Alex's questions. I've made a big mistake while I'm learning a language. I have bought a big notebook and started to divide it into sections. Then it becomes chaotic and I've lost all my work. Should I have a small notebook? Well, Alex, I do think that organization is pretty important when you're trying to do these notebooks. So you can have one notebook with a bunch of sections, but you need to have logical ways of dividing the sections. Or, Alex, if you feel like your book is too chaotic now, then, okay, take that one notebook and get 4 other notebooks and reorganize all of that information into new notebooks in a more organized fashion. Okay? And that'll be good for you also because you'll review all the things that you wrote down and put them in a more cohesive way. Okay? How can you write down vocabulary about a specific topic? Alex, just do a Google search for whatever topic you're talking about and type in the word vocabulary words. So music, vocabulary words, food, vocabulary words, television, vocabulary words, fashion, vocabulary words. Any topic that you are talking about, right? Just type in that word in vocabulary words or terminology. And then, yeah, you have to do a deep dive. Do a deep dive to find every word that's related to that topic that you can. Okay? Let's see. Should you have one for YouTube, for example, or one for... Yeah, you should, Alex. Yeah, divide them up. Divide them up. Don't have just one for everything. That will be not useful to your learning. I have lots of notebooks over there, okay, for different things. How can you find the smoke that will lead you to the curiosity? The curiosity is the smoke, man. Whatever you're curious about. And if you're not curious about things, then you're not looking around enough. Look around more. Read. Reading is the best way to find your curiosities. Okay? And the internet, you can just scroll through the internet and find something that you're curious about. Right? Maybe you read something about one person, right? And okay, let me give you an example. So, for example, maybe you like BTS is a K-pop group, right? Maybe you like BTS. Okay, great. That's great. Wonderful. Who does BTS like? Who were they influenced by? Who were their musical influences? And then once you find their musical influences, find out who influenced those people, and then find out who influenced those people. That's called doing a deep dive. Don't just scratch the surface, everybody. Don't just scratch the surface of learning. Find out what came before that. Okay? So if you're reading on the internet and you find an article about computers, whatever, maybe you're, reading about some new technology. You're reading about AI. Okay, so read more about it. Find out more about it. Do a search for as many articles as you can about that thing and then start deep diving on that. And if you're really interested in it, then that is your curiosity. It's your curiosity is guiding you along the way. If you find that you read one article and it's not that interesting to you, then you're not curious about that thing. It's that simple. Okay? And the more you read and the more you learn, the more curiosities you will have. Okay? But the less you read, the less you learn, the fewer curiosities you will have. And there's nothing sadder in this world than an incurious person. There's nothing sadder in this world than an incurious person. How sad to have the most powerful, computers are still not as powerful as our brains. Everyone is walking around with a very powerful device right here. Very few people are using it even one 1/1000th of its ability. Even me, I feel like I don't use my brain nearly as much as I should in an efficient way at all to live up to its potential. Okay, so thank you, Vladimir. I think only I get that reference. And that's right. No pressure, no diamonds. Diamonds come with pressure. So when you try to learn your talents, when you try to improve your talents, it's not easy. Do you have any idea how many frustrating hours I spent trying to learn how to be a good drummer? And how many more frustrating hours I will spend? That's just the nature of becoming good at something. We admire people who are good at things because we know it's not easy. It takes time and pressure, right? Okay, I hope the connection is okay now. I don't know why my connection is bad today. It should be good. Yeah. Hello, Danine from Cambodia. Yeah, whatever band that you're talking about, whoever you like, that's great. But find out who they liked, and then find out who they liked, and then find out who they liked. Don't just accept the one thing. Figure out how they became that way, right? So if you think that this person is interesting, find out what they did to become that way. Who were their influences? And then go further and further back, okay? Do I think listening will make you good in English? Well, yeah, but Mustafa, listening is only one small part of learning a language. It's the most important one. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Because listening is more important than speaking. But you can't only listen. Mustafa, if you want to learn something, don't limit the way that you learn. Never limit the way that you learn. Okay, limiting learning should be unlimited. When you're trying to learn, you should learn in every way you possibly can. Okay? What if I think I'm interested in everything? Is it normal? Yeah, that's normal. That's the curiosity of a human being. That's okay, Lucas. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Hello, Ati. Hello, Geeta. You like Taylor Swift? Okay, great. May. Taylor Swift's bass player is a guy from my city. I used to play in music with him sometimes. And if you like Taylor Swift, wonderful. Now find out who does Taylor Swift like. And I don't mean from now. I mean who influenced her when she was 16 years old. What music was she listening to that inspired her to become Taylor Swift? Right? Listen to what she listened to, and then listen to what they listened to, and then listen to what they listened to. All right? Sure, probably Shania Twain, Dolly Parton, probably. Do I get her concert tickets easier? No. What's your suggestion to me? I'm a student abroad, but I still have a dilemma in speaking. Miriam, how many times have you tried to speak? 10, 20, 50? One to 2 hours per day. Okay. You mean with people or by yourself? With people. Okay, well, that's a good start. 1 to 2 hours per day. If you can talk with people, that's a good start. But, Miriam, I will tell you two things. One, language is a performance, and that means that every performer, when they get on stage, they are nervous and scared. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become doing it. Okay? The poet Rumi is one of my favorite people to quote. And Molana, he says, all of your anxiety comes from seeking harmony. Seek disharmony and you will find peace. That means that you cannot become comfortable without being uncomfortable first. Okay? Did Dave Grohl inspire Taylor Swift? Probably. David Grohl was, he's kind of an icon in music at this point. You know, he started as the drummer for Nirvana, and then he went on to have his own solo career bigger than Nirvana. So I think that it's a fairly safe bet to say that Taylor probably was inspired by him at some point in his career. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. And he's a good guy. That's the best part about Dave Grohl, is that he defines what cool really is about. Being a good person. You know, not just trying to be a jerk. That guy does a lot of good stuff for people. He does a lot of good deeds. So does Taylor Swift. I'm not a big fan of Taylor Swift's music. You know, I don't listen to her music that much. You know, I've heard a few songs. But I respect her because she does a lot of good for a lot of people. And that's much more important than what her songs are even about. So, yeah, she uses her platform to do better for the world. And so does Dave Grohl. Yeah. And Miriam, the second thing I'll tell you about language is that it begins in the mind. So if you really want to be comfortable with your language, then you have to speak every day as much as you can in your mind in English. So practicing 1 to 2 hours a day with people is good. That's physical practice, right? So I say that there are two parts of language learning divided into physical and mental. Okay? The physical parts of language learning are writing, reading, listening, and speaking. But then there's the mental part, and that's thinking. And if your thinking in that language is weak, then your writing, reading, listening, and speaking will be weak. But if your thinking is strong, then your physical language will be strong. Okay? So start trying to think in English. I know it's hard. Elsa, I know it's hard. But you have to do it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. The less you do it, it will always become hard. It'll always be hard. Okay? The more I try, the more I get disappointed, and the anxiety is part of my problem. Well, let me think about that for a minute. Anxiety and nervousness are the opposite of courage, and you can't get courage without having anxiety and nervousness first. Everyone is scared in the beginning, but think about it like you're swimming, right? When you learn how to swim, everybody is scared to jump in the water at first, but you can't swim without jumping in the water. So you just have to get used to the idea that it's scary, but we have to do it, right? And eventually we learn that it's not so scary. So the more you do it, you just have to keep pushing forward, Miriam. And eventually you'll start to feel like swimming will become more fun. So just like that, if you do it more, eventually you'll start to feel less anxiety and more enjoyment in what you do. Okay? Don't forget to follow my YouTube channel, everybody, right there. Don't forget to follow my YouTube channel. Please, please, please follow my YouTube channel. Hello, Murad. That's exactly right. Gary said, I think we just have to do it. The more we do it, the more confident we feel. Nobody is comfortable doing anything the first time they do it. Okay? Learning how to do something is like walking into a dark tunnel. Sometimes when you walk into the tunnel in the beginning, all you see is darkness and it's scary. But if you keep walking, there's that little pinhole of light way down at the end. And if you keep walking, that light gets bigger and bigger. And eventually you come out the other side and you feel good. Right? That's the process of learning anything. Okay? Mustafa says, if you don't feel pain, you'll never feel this feeling of sweet success. That's right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Frustration is a natural part of learning. If you're not frustrated when you're learning, you're not pushing yourself enough. Okay? That's right. All the things you desire on the other side of your fears. Well said. That's why I tell everybody here, if you want to learn a language, you cannot be shy. You can't. You can't do it. I don't care who you are. You cannot be shy. All right? That's why I call everybody a language warrior. What is a warrior? A warrior is a fighter. You're a fighter. And if you're a fighter in an army and the general says, you must go fight, can you tell the general, oh, I feel a little bit shy. I can't fight today. No, you can't. You put that shyness away in a box and you go, right? If you're a performer, same thing. There are some performers who are shy people, but they know they can't be shy in order to perform. So they put that shyness in a box and they put it away. So when you're a language warrior, what are you fighting? What are we fighting against? We're fighting against our fear. Okay? So when people do something well, what do we say to them? We say, bravo, 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 or brava. Do you know what bravo means in Italian? What does bravo mean? It means brave. It means brave, everyone. So when you're brave, we say, oh, good job, you were brave. Congratulations for being brave, for doing what you did, your performance. Because we know it takes courage and bravery to get on a stage and do something, to do whatever performance you're doing. So that's why we say bravo for men and brava for women. That's right. I believe I can fly. Although that guy, wow, what a turn for the worse that guy took. Yeah. Anyway. You're welcome, Murad. Hello, Nassim. I'm Batman. You're afraid of making mistakes in public. They judge. Okay, you're right. People do judge whenever you make a mistake. But Elsa, are you more worried about their judgment, or are you more worried about your learning? You have to make a choice. Do you care more about being embarrassed, or do you care more about growth and education and learning? If you care more about embarrassment, then you're never going to succeed. You have to be willing to be embarrassed to grow. Embarrassment is actually a wonderful learning tool. You're welcome, Alex. You're welcome. That's right. It's like, good job, because we're telling people you were brave. Congratulations for being brave and doing that thing. That's right. You cannot be shy. You cannot be shy if you want to learn a language. You cannot be shy if you want to be a performer of any kind. And language is a performance. Language is a performance. Mark's Motivational Monday show. Yeah. Well, that's why I call myself, it says Teacher Mark, but I kind of feel more like a coach than a teacher in most ways, because that's the coach's job, is to motivate you, that's the way my mentors were like that. I had many teachers, but I had only a few mentors. And a mentor is not just a teacher. There's somebody who inspires you. There's somebody who inspires you to actually be better than you were before. Not just to learn, but to actually be better than you are now. So I'll take that, Yeah. Coaches are there to motivate you. Mentors are there to motivate you too. And it's not just about learning only. It's about the whole picture. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, I'd like to talk to one more person before I go. I've been here for almost 3 hours, but I'd like to talk to one more person today before I go have some lunch. So who else would like to come talk to me? Nisma? Nisma wants to come talk to me? Okay, Nisma. Hello, Nisma. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, I do now. Yeah.
Fine, thank you. My connection is bad. I hope you hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you okay. Well, let's talk while we can. So,
Okay.
what questions do you have for me?
Okay. Ah, you want me ask you a question? I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
what people
I
usually
just
do. Yeah.
listened to you. I study English, okay, but you know, when I try speak, sometimes I feel like I forget everything about English, you know.
I know.
I don't know why.
That's a common problem. Nizma, the reason why is because you need to spend more time thinking in English. The more time you spend thinking
Yes,
in English, the more comfortable your language will be in your mind. And if your language is comfortable in your mind, then you'll be able to use it whenever you need to. But if you never use your language in your mind, then when you need to use it, it's not ready.
yes. Yes, I think that. And I think it's helped me when you say I see people when he first time try speak English, he can't talk with anyone. When I was in USA before 4 years, but I stay just in home. I I don't know. It's situation. I don't want to say now, but I don't practice English and talk with much people. But this reason make me when I go to USA make me not be shy. I say anything, you know. Before when I my country I scare if I talk English. But when I go to America, uh, I feel comfortable
Well, that's
when I
good.
talk. Whatever, if I don't say it's good or not good. I mean, it's understand me or not. You
Good for
understand?
you.
I think it's help people speak English. Go to another country, speak English. I don't know,
Well, it is.
but
Of
I don't
course,
know.
they
Anything
always tell
maybe
people
help.
they always tell people that if you can move to a country that speaks that language, that's great. But how many people can really do that? That's a silly thing to suggest for most people because most people can't afford that. But
Yes, I
but
know. Yeah.
but you can learn how to think in English living anywhere you are. So I live in the United
No,
States,
just I told about.
but I can
It's
practice
hard to
Chinese
him.
anytime I want to because I just think in Chinese.
Nice to meet you.
Understand, Nisma?
Yes. You helped me a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm glad.
What's your name? Mark.
Yeah,
Mark. Yes. And I am Nisma from Libya. You know Libya?
I do know Libya. I have a few friends there.
Yeah. Okay. Go eat lunch.
Well, thank you, Nisma.
And
Thank you. It was
yes,
wonderful to talk with
you're
you.
welcome. See you.
Take care, Nisma.
Bye
Bye
bye,
bye.
guys.
All right. So as I was saying, yeah, it's great that they say, oh well, move to a country where they speak English and you'll learn English well. Well, duh, yeah, of course, but that's a silly suggestion for 98% of the world. 2% of people can afford to do that or will have that opportunity, but you can learn how to think in English wherever you live. It doesn't matter where you live. You can learn how to think in any language that you want to learn. And if you think in that language, you live your life in that language, you will know that language. It will take time, and it's not easy. It's a bit scary in the beginning. But again, I can practice my Chinese all day just by watching TV and cooking food and doing housework or whatever I have to do, but using a different language when I do it. That's all. Okay? And is it the perfect way to learn? No, but it's better than most other ways. And if you learn how to make the language comfortable in your mind, you will gain tremendous confidence in your language. If your language is always translating everything in your mind, then you will never feel confident. That's a very important thing to remember. Does reading in English help with thinking in English? Sure, it does. Yeah. Yeah, because when you read English, the more you read, the more you start to not translate anymore. You're not translating, you're just reading the actual English words and understanding their meaning as they are. It takes a bit of time. When we read anything in a new language in the beginning, we're translating. But think about it like this. If you were born in Switzerland, it's very common for many people in Switzerland to have 4 or even 5 native languages from being a baby. They might know French and German and Austrian and Italian, all native, okay? But do they have one language that's their main language and they just translate everything? No. If they are speaking German, they're thinking in German. If they're speaking Italian, they're thinking in Italian. If they're speaking French, they're thinking in French. Understand? So if native speakers do it that way, then why don't we do it that way? It's the worst and biggest flaw in language learning for the history of mankind. We tell everybody about reading and writing and listening and speaking, but no one ever talks about thinking. Huge, huge, huge error in learning. Okay? Thank you, Feng Shui. Hello, Precious. Sadat, it's time for me to take a break, my friend. I need to go have some lunch. Precious, if you go to my YouTube channel, then you will find a short video about how to think in English. Okay? If you go to my YouTube channel, you can find a short video about how to think in English. All right? I made a short video, 5-minute video you can watch, and it'll tell you my process for teaching people how to think in English. Okay? Practice does make perfect. That's right. 熟能生巧. That's right. Language starts in the mind, everyone. Language starts in the mind. Can I suggest any good book which will help to improve your English? I can suggest lots of books that will help to improve your English. But are you talking about grammar books or are you talking about actual books to read? Bloomy, if you're talking about reading for enjoyment, then read anything that you're interested in. That will be good for your English. But if you're talking about grammar, then English Grammar in Use is the most popular one. It's not my favorite one, but it's the most popular one. Okay? If you're a beginner, then I actually suggest a different company. There's a company, Saddleback Publishing, makes a book called Basic English Grammar Level 1 and 2. That's a great book to start with for grammar in English. Okay? Happy Puppy, that's the secret, man. It's all about thinking. Language is all about thinking first. Okay? How long does it take to become good in English? There's no answer for that question. Everybody's different. Could take 1 year, could take 10 years. You're welcome, Gita. Thank you, Feng Shui. The name of my channel is right here. Does it cover all grammar? It does, yeah. Yeah, if you get all of the levels, then it does. Yeah. English Grammar in Use definitely does. Okay? All right, everybody. So once again, I'm going to take a break for lunch. I'll be back later tonight. Let me check my schedule. Wait a minute. Need to check my lesson schedule. Okay, yeah. I have time for a voice room later tonight. Probably after 5 o'clock in my time, p.m. I have a lesson at 3 o'clock. I have a lesson at 4:30, and then I'm free. So, yeah, I'll probably do one around 5:30 p.m. my time. Don't forget to practice drums. Yeah, I actually do need to practice drums. Yeah. So, and again, if you want me to play a song from your culture, send me a message and tell me what song you want me to play. Okay, and I'll find it and I'll make a video and I'll try to see if I can play drums to it. I want to try this new system. I want to try a new way of doing it because I think the quality of the sound will be so much better. You guys will be like, wow, that looks great and it sounds great. If I record it separately and then I upload it, it will be really good quality. But when I play it live, I never know if the quality is good or not, because I never know if your connection is good enough or, you know, or if HelloTalk is good enough to be able to do all this. Okay, so send me either a name of a song or a link to a song and whatever songs you want me to play. And remember, I'm not talking about Coldplay and Nirvana and Taylor Swift. I know those songs. I know that music. I want you to suggest songs from your culture. Okay, so Chinese songs, Japanese songs, French songs, German songs, South African songs, whatever songs that you have, okay, from your culture, Arabic songs, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just send me those songs and I will try to play to them. That's what I enjoy doing, is trying to play the music of other cultures. Okay? All right. Ralphie, you're a little bit late, Ralphie. Come back and see me again later on my voice room, or come back tomorrow. Okay? You can't read books in English. You can read books in English, honey, but you need to start with something simple. Okay? Start with something simple. You can do it. All right? Go to my YouTube channel and follow me. Alex, just organization is just like anything else. It takes practice. Organization takes practice too, okay? What does please be with me mean? Well, it usually means to be in your company. If I say please be with me, that means I want you to be here with me. Okay? But it depends on what context you heard that in, Adele. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following. Don't forget to go to my YouTube channel right here. I need people to follow my YouTube channel. If you want me to continue to be here, you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, watch my YouTube videos, share my YouTube videos. Please, you have to understand, that's how the internet works. That's how these live streams work. If you want me to continue to do this, then you have to support me. If you don't support me, then one day you will come to watch my streams and I will not be here. Okay? Because I have to make money too, just like anyone else. All right? So go to my YouTube channel, please. Okay? Precious, send that to me in a private message. Okay? I can't do it here, but send it to me in a private message, that song that you want me to play. Okay? Ugandan song sounds great. I would love to try it. All right? All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following. Thank you for participating. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to be a language warrior. You're not allowed to be shy if you want to learn a language. Just can't do it. Okay? Be a language warrior. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.